For a predator in the Southeast Asian rainforest, the canopy is a series of isolated islands. Moving between these trees requires navigating hundreds of vertical feet and wide, empty gaps. Your brain naturally expects snakes to crawl or slither along branches, but occasionally, one simply coils up and springs directly into the open air. This is the paradise tree snake, Chrysopelea paradisi. When it launches from the canopy, it isn't falling. It can glide across horizontal distances of more than 100 meters. Physics suggests this shouldn't work. A snake is a smooth cylinder. It has no wings, feathers, or limbs to catch the air. Gravity should dictate a vertical plummet. How does an animal designed exclusively for slithering on the ground manage to traverse a 100-foot canopy drop without dying on impact? To understand the physics at play, we have to freeze time in the exact milliseconds after the snake leaves the branch. In that brief window, its body undergoes a radical, temporary transformation. The flight begins with a specialized takeoff. The snake anchors its tail to a branch and drops the front half of its body into a hanging J shape, coiling its muscles to generate the initial velocity outward. Momentum alone won't keep it in the air. The moment the snake goes airborne, it violently expands its ribcage outward. Simultaneously, it actively pulls its belly inward. It changes its volumetric shape, turning from a solid tube into a hollowed-out ribbon. By flattening out, the snake's cross-section changes from a basic cylinder into a triangular shape with a concave bottom. Aerodynamicists call this a bluff body. As it moves through the air, the shape forces low-pressure air over its back, trapping high-pressure air directly underneath. This generates aerodynamic lift, neutralizing the downward pull of gravity. Paradise tree snake survives the initial drop by structurally hacking its own skeleton, turning its entire torso into a makeshift functional wing. It doesn't lock into a rigid pose like a paper airplane. Once airborne, the snake begins a continuous, violent thrashing motion. This behavior is called aerial undulation. It is essentially the high-speed motion of a snake swimming, translated perfectly into a gaseous environment. By constantly whipping its body back and forth, the snake continually shifts its aerodynamic profile. This helps manage the drag acting against it, squeezing every possible meter of horizontal distance out of the glide. When we track the flight path, the snake's body appears to move in two different ways at once. While the torso whips violently in an S-curve, the head remains almost perfectly still, tracking a single stable line. High-speed camera analysis reveals that the head functions like a stabilized gimbal. It stays locked on to a specific destination in the canopy, while the tail generates the necessary aerodynamic forces behind it. Aerial undulation transforms the snake into a navigator. By actively managing its trajectory, it turns a potential drop into a controlled, targeted flight. To stick the landing, the snake pitches its body upward right before impact. This creates an aerodynamic stall, killing its forward momentum just in time to safely grip a new branch. This aerial reach allows the snake to ambush elusive canopy prey, like roosting bats, from above. It also enables rapid pursuit of fast-moving lizards. The snake can clear wide gaps between trees without ever breaking its chase. If the snake had to climb down to the forest floor, slither across the brush, and scale the next trunk, the calorie expenditure would be massive. Gliding keeps the predator safe from the larger threats waiting on the ground. Evolution has allowed the paradise tree snake to master a three-dimensional environment using only the bones and muscles it already had, bypassing the need to evolve new appendages. Chrysopelea paradisi proves that the skies can be conquered without feathers or wings. Success comes down to the perfect application of fluid dynamics to a completely unlikely anatomy.